Hello everybody and welcome to Brawl Stars Variety Hour, where I'm celebrating getting 50,000 subscribers over on YouTube by playing your decks. And in this video, I've got 5 different decks to showcase. We've got Florian, Cosima, Gandalf, Minsc, and Rankle, all submitted user decks. So let's show off what they can do. Cosima, God of the Voyage, submitted by Epiphany Lockman. This was something submitted as inspired by Olivia Gobert-Hicks' deck of the same theme, which is to say, the Omenkeel. No, Cosima's not actually the commander, it's the boat! You want to play the boat, you want to hit people with vehicles. This deck has a bunch of blue vehicles in it, and then a bunch of things to help crew those vehicles. So I guess we'll take Cosima's boat into the queue and flip some lands, maybe. Or not. It's mono blue vehicles. We'll do what we can. Kavero, Mind Bitten, going to be reanimating just by casting. So I always have a turn 2 play from Cosima, but I also have this turn 1 Drix Interlacer, which is really nice. This is going to be banking up intensity. The more artifacts I have enter play, whether they're tokens or creatures or vehicles, the bigger this gets. Ooh, hello. What are you looking at there? Aw, there goes Tezzy. Okay, I will play... Honestly, the Schooner is a better, just like, better stat line, I think, up against them. But I'm gonna go for Omenkeel because I want to get that land trigger. I want to ramp, and I do have a creature I can play next turn, this Dreamtide Whale. They weren't prepared to see boat. I mean, I think if you see Cosima, you know what's going on. All right, they're going to do some self-milling because they have to get the things to reanimate into the graveyard. Recon mission, what are you doing in here? I mean, we are trying to, like, get hits. It was, Ringer, Ulamog, and Tidespout Tyrant. By the way, I will say this is an incredibly lucky mill, because those 3 cards would have ended up in the graveyard, and those are actually 3 of the cards that they specifically tutor into the graveyard pretty often. Bringer, getting out, like, the Tidespout Tyrant, like, that's nasty. Yeah, I'm gonna proliferate. All right, now they also have Hoarding Broodlord in the graveyard, which also gets used as part of combos. And if they have another land next turn, and they probably will, they should be able to get to that. Okay, I don't have to technically crew here. Because I could just use the hanger. Because I ain't no hang-a-back girl. Yeah, they're doing the same thing that you do in Standard. Trying to decide if I just want to animate. No, because that's not going to get through. I think it's better to Cannoneer. I'm just swinging. Yeah, it's the standard thing. Because we have a bunch of ways to tutor things into the graveyard in Brawl as well. We have Entomb, we have... I don't remember the one that puts 3 creatures in, but you can essentially tutor, you can tutor your combo into the graveyard and then just Kavero. Okay, so this is uncounterable Kavero, who I think will enter as Hoarding Broodlord or Valgavoth, depending on what their strat is. Oh, nope, they're just gonna kill these. Okay, rip. Buried Alive, yeah. Buried Alive is rough. Here we are. A staunch crewmate. Yar, get me something, or take a mere convert. But I would also like a land, maybe one of their lands. Do I need to set up another vehicle? I'll set up another vehicle. Get in the boat. Did I again whiffed on lands. I haven't been getting lands, and I haven't been getting their lands either. Okay, Force of Negation. They're negging. I've got them down to 9, though. Just by hitting with boats. Yes, Omenkeel is, like, has actually hit so many cards. I do not want to graveyard. That first hit was so big. All right, did they mill anything else I'm worried about? I guess they could technically also go for Overlord just as value play. No matter what, though, what they animate will be a 4/4, which is kind of too big for this. But I do have, like, I don't know, alternate vehicles. The vehicles aren't going to be very useful to them. Is this Olivia's Boat Crime deck? It is it's an equivalent inspired version, yeah. All right, so this is Cavero becoming a tutor. And if they have a 1 mana spell like Reanimate, they would be able to cast that by tapping this. But Reanimate's not so good when you only have 9 life. Okay, so I don't know what they got. I drew a land this time, though. I will play Mere Convert. I want to just crack this, so I will. More lands. All right. Crew. They'll get to eat one of these up. Oh, now I find lands. Okay, great. They block the Schooner. And Schooner later. Schooner later will find a land! Wow, look at all of these lands I don't really want. All right, I'm gonna cycle recon mission. Poetic Glyph! Nice. There's a Grizzlebee. Victimize. That's a big reanimation spell. I could see grabbing Victimize here. They go to 3. Where's my lands? Oh, there's my... Yeah, all my lands showed up at the same time after not hitting their lands, and then their land showed up too. We were so close to sniping that Grizzlebrand. Yeah, this deck is chock full of stuff that they want in the graveyard. So what do you think they tutored for? It could be, like the Sacrifice? Okay, Necromancy. So they just went for a reanimation spell. For 3 mana, you get to bring back a creature. And which creature will it be? None of them will have haste. But Valgaboth, no, it's a 9/9. It has lifelink. And do I have anything here that could prevent it from being quite so much? No. No, I don't. No, I don't. I'll play Muyan Ling. Yeah, the Bloodstained Mire I can't do that much with. So now I have flying vehicles, even better. I'll pay some life in order to glyph up this car. You can Force of Negation it. And they have like a double reanimate as well next turn. With no removal for Valgavoth. I'd say we're in a tough spot. I would also say Cavero is like a pretty great Brawl commander. I haven't built it yet just because every time I put it on a poll, people are like, I don't want to see Superior Spider-Man. I want to see, I don't know, Mono Blue clones again. You thought that was wild that they would counterspell it? They wanted what they wanted. I don't need to chump block this. Is this Symbiote Spider-Man? No, it's Superior Spider-Man. Is Cavero. The one where Doc Ock takes over Spider-Man's body and finds out how strong he is. You know, Spider-Man. So now I have to deal 12 damage. But I might actually be able to attack in this next turn. Oh, goodness. Okay, so there's the buried alive. But again, we hit some of the bigger targets before on these exiles. And they only have 2 mana up, but it's black or blue. I don't think they played a land yet this turn, no. So if they wanted to victimize, they totally could. All right, so there's Arden Bahamut. Normally they would go Arden Ulamog, but Ulamog's over here. Okay, Surgical Metamorph. What could you become? I guess Valgavoth? This could hit their graveyard. Wait, one sec. If it's on the battlefield. Yeah, okay, wait. I'm going to try something. I'm Necromancy. Necromancy, Arden. Arden grabbing Bahamut. Okay, I could actually destroy the Necromancy to get rid of that, but one sec. I think I might have lethal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, yeah, I have to get rid of their blocker. We animate one of these, swing in with everything, and I win. Ha! Boated and goated. I found a line. Stone Rain sent Florian, Voldaren, Scion. They describe this deck as Rakdos Control with some cool finishers. And I see a variety of different strategies in here. I see the, like, wizards casting spells, doing damage, just, you know, direct damage to, like, Mogus. And, of course, Prosper to go with Florian, who puts things in exile. Florian wants you to deal damage during and just, like, during your first main, during combat, anything that's before your second main phase, because then you get a card from exile. And the more damage you deal, the more card selection you have. I feel like this deck is also kind of leaning on inevitability of damage with these 2 different shrines, where you just want to sit around and make your opponent bleed out while you wipe the board over and over. All right, let's take Florian into the queue. Oh, our friend! Oh, our first match is against Kaiju Dance Party. Lucky me. I hope Kaiju Dance Party one day submits a deck. I don't think they know I exist, but I know they exist. This is a hand with, oh gosh, it's got a wipe, it's got orb, and I go first. I am gonna keep this, but it's a little tough because, like, Hearthal also is kind of like leaning on eventually it's gonna take me out. Screaming Nemesis is good, but I would rather try to get either a 2-drop or another land so I can get to 4. I have a parasocial relationship with Kaiju Dance Party. Yeah. Kaiju Dance Party is my friend. My friend who we've never talked to before, who's never met me. They're my friend because they're somebody who plays cool decks in the Brawl queue. And we can only ask for so much. All right, I could orb here. I actually kind of like the baby deluge. Florian just dies to Grist, unfortunately. I'm gonna play the orb. And then I'm going to ponder it. This will end up in the graveyard. That way I'm one closer to I assume a land. And with, like, a 4th land, we get to things like Sheoldred. Yeah, I don't know them. I thought we could hang, though. Yeah, this is going to be the Deluge turn. I'm a loser, baby. Bam, luged. It'll probably still be a mill. Yeah. I could have put the land to the bottom to try to get more damage, but that was like, in case we get to draw. Ooh. Lands, what are they? Grist is able to ult, but like Grist's ult is not that big. Okay, you know what? Do you want to mill? Just like one more time? Ah, dang. There was a land in there too, though. But yeah, now I have an Emrakul in hand. That's a good bit of... If we can ever get to enough mana, that would be rad. But if they had milled that, that would have been lethal. That would have been sweet. Hearthal sacrificing. Once Hearthal gets to this 8 plus and becomes a creature, that's when you die super fast because you can sacrifice so many lands in Jund. No! Oh, I'm never gonna get to 4 mana. It's okay, I'll play my commander at 3 and then my commander will die, but I'll have played it. Grist sacrifices a bug to myrtleize Florian. Didn't even station with the bug first. R.I.P. my commander. Yeah, you smack the top of your giant bug ship. This baby can fit so many lands. Oh god, this baby can fit so many lands. Hawk doubles the forest. Is that the Fallout art for casualties? It is. Yeah, they had like a pack you were able to buy of the Fallout arts. No, it's a tapped land. What is this doing here? No. Lands, they're in there. Yeah, well, one got destroyed. It's fine. Fine. Ignore how many lands they have compared to how many lands I have, and the fact that they've been sacrificing lands. It's good. It's all good. Okay, I have a lava coil, and I have Shuldred. I will just play Shuldred. Anything I do here is just dead. Oh, she real dead. She dies right now. We got this? Yeah, I got this. Don't look at my life total. There's an Emrakul in the way. Totally got this. GG Kaiju Dance Party. Photon Man has submitted Minsc and Boo, Timeless Heroes, which has been increased to 5 mana instead of 4, but is still a very strong commander. This is Gruul aggro. You see lots of 1-drops. Those are our beaters or our ramp or our removal. 2-drops, doing the same thing. And then we legit barely have anything at 3, 4, and 5 because we don't need it. We're just going to be making boos, making things big, and throwing Boo at people's face, or just anything else. Anything that's super high power is nice with Minsc and Boo, but also Boo just gets big. You throw it, you draw cards. Also, Photon Man is watching in the chat and says, I would like to swap Bristling Backwoods for the Gruul Pathway. Well, sure. Okay, where's Bristling Backwoods? There it is. Pathway. Done. Look at that. We can edit on the fly, and then we can take it into the queue and throw hamsters at people. Oh, we're up against partners. I'm going to keep this hand, though, because, I mean, turn 1 Delighted Halfling. Goblin Rabble Master, sure. This is a Vile Smasher's Thrazios deck, meaning they want to ramp, then cast big spells, and then I die because I get burned in the face. Thrazios. I hate that it puts Titus and Clive as, like, the names here. Like, no, this is Thrazios and Vile Smasher. Rabble, rabble, rabble. This is usually like just kind of a 4-color good stuff deck, which, yeah, I mean, it works. That's part of what partners are and why they're so annoying. And I do wish we would adopt either just there's no partners as a rule for Brawl, or we would adopt the dual commander thing where once you cast one of your 2 partners, you are not allowed to cast the other to prevent you from essentially just getting free card advantage out of them. Like, oh yeah, you always have access to 2 cards. Abrupt Decay. All right. I could Questing Beast here. Razor is also cute. It would be like 5 damage to the face, but it's better if there's a blocker. just swing in. And my questing beast with all of his texting beast is not blockable by these two. Game trail. Don't have it. They should just add Rogok. Yeah, and then all of the free commander spells. It's perfect. Shouldn't be counterable. But there's non-counterspell counterspells that, like, put it on top of the deck. Subtlety. What is the CDH? No, this is Minsc and Boo. You gonna kill it before I can activate it? Bounce it. Kill it. What's the vibe? You have all the colors. Except for white, because this is just a 4-color deck. Bitter Triumph. Okay, so I get the 1/1 Boo, but I don't get to activate. Move my commander to the command zone. Yes. My Goblin, my Questing Beast, and my Space Hamster. Miniature giant Space Hamster. Blue. Okay, I have a Paw Patch recruit here, or Switchgrass. Switchgrass would be threatening lethal. And this lets me kind of like move damage up. Why did they not play anything though? Don't mind me. Horse. Baby bunny. Telling them if they want to touch my creatures, they gotta do it now. So they're Snapcastering the Bitter Triumph, I guess. Or Abrupt Decay also would work. They have the mana for either. But Abrupt Decay would only be able to hit the 1 power things. So I guess they'll pay by discarding. They're killing the horse so it doesn't kill the Snapcaster. And then everybody in. Actually, maybe not Delighted Halfling. Nah, everybody in. They dropped the Tail's End. Questing Beast, I need you to go the whole way. The fact that they're doing Expressive Iteration here is actually really nice for me. Again, these 2 cards can't block this Questing Beast. I think we're just lined up for lethal. Nice, they couldn't get there. Couldn't get there. Point 5 has submitted Gandalf the White. Lets you flash out legends and artifacts. Awesome. Also doubles up triggers of legends and artifacts. And I can tell by looking at this that this is, in fact, mostly artifacts, which, of course, an extra doubler in here in Elish Norn. Almost everything in this deck is flashable, except for a couple spells that are already instant speed, which is perfect. So I guess we'll take Gandalf and start just throwing artifacts at them at instant speed. Well, after we ramp to 5, but, you know, at that point, we'll have access to the bigs, the goods. Let's take Gandalf into the queue and show them the way. The Wandering Minstrel, that is 5 color lands coming untapped. I have 2 mana, and I have things I can cast, so I will take it. Yeah, this is like a mono white mana rock exclusively for artifacts. Fabrication Foundry. Cool. All right, well, play it. There's going to be a lot of cards in this deck that I'm, like, not that used to seeing, because white artifacts, like blue-white artifacts I play, but just mono-white artifacts I haven't gotten to very much. Fuel Tank Fista. I guess I could feast upon it. I want to hit their ramp, and hitting ramp is good. Because this also discounts cards in their hand. They gain 3. Then I'll play Circuit Mender. Nice. If this leaves play, I get to draw a card. And then next turn, if I draw a land, I'll have access to Gandalf. And if I don't draw a card, I'll egg to try to draw a card. This has like Fate Craft. Exile one or more artifacts you control with total mana value X to return an artifact card with mana value X or less from the graveyard to the battlefield. Oh, cool. So I could use this to like exile this to bring back egg or something. That's cool. Yeah, Oswald Mono White Artifacts is probably the one I see the most. All right, I did not get a land, so I'm going to use Terrarium first to get a land. And rather than animate Mutavault, I'll take out the Spelunking, because that also lets lands come in untapped. And I'm guessing they're a Gates deck based on the fact that we've seen 3 Gates. So their win con is Maze's End. They want to have 10 differently named Gates, and then activate Maze's End, which will tutor for 1. Well, I guess you only need 9 at that point, and then you win. So keep an eye out for that. Beyond that, it's probably 5-color good stuff, some lands things, and ramp. People are lamenting in chat that Gandalf is a better artifacts commander than Saruman. Yeah, I think Saruman could have had synergy with things like weapons manufacturing. That would have been cool. But nope, he's like a mill stealing commander. There's like 3 Sarumans, though, if you count Sharky. Nobody counts Sharky. All right, Guild Summit and 2 lands in the graveyard. Kind of like swinging and then depopulating. Do like this. Because I don't want them to have access to Analyst. They found their Maze's End, by the way. We both get to draw. Then we both get to die. Wandering Minstrel, by the way, is like designed to be a towns commander, but there's not enough towns to really support it in historic Brawl. There is enough, though, to support it in standard Brawl. I built a standard Brawl Minstrel deck. This is the Yoshi P as himself in Final Fantasy XIV. Next turn, I'll have access to Gandalf plus Egg at instant speed. Aw, now I can't bring those back. Dang it. Or just Meteor Golem, which... yeah, it's probably going to be just Meteor Golem. Sorry, Gandalf. I don't think Egg is enough against Primeval Titan. Did I meet him when I was in Final Fantasy XIV? I don't think so. But I also didn't pay that much attention to what was happening in quests. I kind of gave up when they gave me, Anime Girls. This was made by Elk64. Oh. Nice to meet ya. Bam. 1, 2, 3, essentially 4, 5, 6. Okay, so it is inevitable. We will do our best. You know what would be awesome? I think Winter Orb is in this deck. If we could orb them. I'm borbling my Orbles. Is it Guildgate? And Protection. Dang. Okay. They didn't go for the Maze's End right there. I'm actually kind of surprised. They had the mana for it. Like, just to use it, play it again, and then use it again next turn, because it comes in untapped. Yeah, I will need to... dig. Sorry, Gandalf. Can I dig it? I can try. Yes, Wizard. Avatar also works for him. He's an Avatar wizard. Do I go for Gandalf? Yeah, I'm gonna go for Gandalf into this next turn. I wanted to check one draw, though, because then I would still have mana up to potentially do things. But I think that they can win this turn depending on what they get. I counted right. So they're playing Azorius Guildgate. Burgeoning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but they can't play it again until next turn. But then it would be 9. Ah, the struggle. Gandalf! Fly, you fools! Why are you looking at my egg? Why are you looking at my egg? What's with you? You gonna activate your Maze's End or not? Alright. Guild Globe. Draw me 2 cards. No. Yay! Okay, killing Yoshi P does not help that much. Wedding Invitation. Draw me 2 cards. A Ganjo. Okay, so in response to me playing the land, they're gonna go for the Maze's End. Draw, draw, draw. Brilliant Restoration. Better eat some eggs before I die. No, I think I'm just gonna die. I'll do what I can. I'm going to invite my Mutavault to the wedding. Yay. Okay, that's all I got. I can churn through the egg here. Better for the Brilliant Restoration. Where's Follow the Thran when you need it? Wouldn't help. If Gandalf and Saruman got married, could Saruman have been saved? I feel like they would have needed, like, relationship counseling, though, because Saruman would be upset that Gandalf is smoking so much weed and hanging out with, like, weird little guys in some town. But Gandalf would be mad at Saruman for always scrolling on his phone. I mean, Palantir. He's like, dude, you're on the orb too much. That's not good for you. And it's like, you're one to talk. You're always gallivanting with those hobbits. So, could they fix each other? Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, Saruman, you need to stop doom scrolling. Wait. Why are we besieging? Don't you have the kill? Am I just, like, not counting well? Probably. Mount Doom scrolling. Real. Hi, Lumra. Lumra will bring back any lands from the graveyard, none of which are... Oh, nope, there's ones. I was like, none of which are gates. They milled 2 gates. All right, and now they have the Maze's End kill. Yeah, don't trust Saruman's work wife. Sauron's not got his best interest in mind. Rankle, Master of Pranks, who is the high end of his own deck. Kelton Hicks sent me this Rankle deck, and it is 1, 2, 3, and a tiny bit of 4. There's nothing beyond that in the mana value because you don't need it. Rankle wants to do symmetrical sacrificing, symmetrical discarding, and symmetrical card draw, but it's going to benefit us more than them because we're awesome, because we're playing Rankle. All right, let's take Rankle into the queue and do some sacrifice. My sideboard has... Okay, yeah, I know. I don't need to learn. Dina, Soul Steeper could be a combo deck looking to do infinite life gain, infinite life drain. I could push her, though, so that's cool. Hand of Vecna. All right, that's a fun one. All right, got Eternal Cutter. Yeah, this infinite combo I'm talking about, the Exquisite Blood one, is actually very redundant in their deck because the commander works with it, but there's multiple other cards that also can take that exact same slot. Hey, Mr. Hasselhoff, thank you for the 100-month resub. Sheesh. 100. 1 billion. Amazing. Amazon Wowie. Amazon Wowie, indeed. I have a Terror of the Track. That has double team. So if I attack with it, I'll get another copy. It's like 1 million years. That's amazing. Thank you, Mr. Hasselhoff, for the long-term sub, for real. All right, Sanguine Siphoner. A way to kick off that combo. There's Dina. And I think I'm going to just, like, push Dina. Because this triggers for any creature dying. Yeah. Push it, push it. Oh, now it pops up. I wonder why it took so long to pop up. Nice, back up to 27. Dina returns.
Amazon where we 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 Amazon where we
Wowie. I'll bring out Rankle. I have a really good card to discard here too, since I can bring it back. I should stay hydrated. I got some tea here. Alright, we each discard and we each sacrifice. Wowie, wowie, wowie. Oh! Oh, they're tutoring. Alright, so Dina is a, just, like, combo with this Bloodthirsty Conqueror. I think I just lose this turn. Do I have any seasonal favorite teas? Not really. Yeah, because they have 5 mana. And required update is available. We are now disabling new matches for those who have not updated. Great! I love that my opponent was also definitely reading that. We got pretty close, but sometimes you tutor to a combo and you gain infinite life and drain infinite life. Thankfully, this is like an automatic combo. You do not need to target opponent or anything. It just goes. So they gain, they gain, they gain. I lose, I lose, I lose. Each one triggers the next one that triggers the next one that triggers the next one. Lovely. There it goes. One by one. Well, thank you all for submitting various viewer decks. I got through 8 of them while recording this, and while not all of them will be in the video, if you check out my Twitch VODs, you'll get to see all of the ones that I played. I just tried to cut the ones where things didn't really happen at all. This one, hey, Rankle might not have won, but he still did the thing. GG, Dina. Thank you for watching this Brawl Stars Variety Hour, and thank you to everybody who submitted decks. If you didn't see your deck here, there's a chance that I played it because I'm playing them in submission order, but you might not have made it into the video just because your deck didn't quite get to do much of anything, which is unfortunate, but it does happen sometimes when you're playing a Brawl. If you'd like to see more of the games, you can head over to Twitch. Twitch.tv/Amazonian/videos is actually where you can see every single game that I played, not just the highlights for these various Brawl Star Variety Hour videos. But this is just the first of many. I'm going to try to get through as many decks as I can, and you all submitted lots of decks, so I have lots more games to play and lots more fun commanders to showcase. Thank you all so much for watching, and all's well, Brawl's well that ends well.